Let's get it. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving your perspective on teamwork, which we will not get anywhere else. It's a rough one. It was a rough one. I had to take it on the inside today because I had some rain, dealing with some rain and some weather out here in South Florida. And, I got to get my sweat on, especially a day like yesterday where I knocked out 10 miles. I want to make sure I got a good solid run in today as well, good sweat in to keep the momentum going, keep the momentum building. All right, so as far as today's Move Swiftly thought, coordinates, it is January 23rd, 2025, day after another mock draft was put out by ESPN and Mel Kiper. Now, I've been very critical of Mel Kiper in the past. I really have. Being a former college scout, someone that knows the game, evaluates the game, scouted the game, played the game, coached the game, seen the game in many different facets, you're obviously going to be critical of anyone that is calling themselves an expert on anything in regards to the game and really breaking down what the hell it is they're saying. So being from Maryland, seeing that he is from Maryland too, and how he got on, how his hustle, how the advice he was given to become known as by ESPN at least as some expert, I gotta respect that. You have to respect his hustle regardless. That's what the game is about. It's about respecting an opponent's hustle. So I respect his hustle. That being said, we got to stop with this mock draft shit, man. Listen, we just got to stop it. It is the worst thing that could have possibly happened to football because of how big the ESPN platform is, and also the nonsense that gets said or gets insinuated that becomes of these mock drafts, where you get guys who are making commitments based on where they think they're going to land in a draft and, the projections and how quick they want to come out. They're not thinking about their education, not thinking about having a backup. They're not thinking about using the college system as sort of the insurance policy in case they don't make it to the NFL. They're so tuned into this stupid ass mock drafts that come out year in and year out that ultimately ruin the game. See, a lot of people think that it's the transfer portal and it's the damn NIL that's ruining the game. Not to say that those are, particularly helping per se, but what's making it worse, what's making those two things even worse is the nonsense that comes out with the mock draft, because what it lends itself to is the street agent, the people that are promising you're going to go here, you're going to go there, I'm going to guarantee you this amount. And then you obviously have people transferring in and out, jumping in and out, money being promised based on where someone's potentially going to go in the draft. This has got to stop. It's got to stop. We've got to stop doing this. And I will never, ever, ever get tired of saying it. The only way to stop this thing is to go to a feeder system. If you take all of the interest that the NFL draft is about to get, again, I'm recording this. We're officially, college football season's officially over, and we're now officially in off-season mode, where the biggest headlines are going to be where this one's going, what the projections are going to be, what the combine looks like, a bunch of stuff that has nothing to do with you actually playing the game. All right, you're evaluated. The way you are evaluated in terms of playing the game is when you turn on the film and see what a person can do, how many things a person can do. I don't care what the measurables are. I don't care what the 40 time is and how much you can bench and your shuttle time and all that. None of that stuff matters when you put the pads on and it's time to show up on the field. That's how real evaluations are done. And what has happened with these mock drafts, all right, and I'll close you up because I'll dive deeper into this later on in the live stream. I'm going to be using Mikey Sanders still and his versatility as a way of highlighting these points and showing you how much more of an effect he has had on his team than, I don't know, you name the guy, I guess a Malik Neighbors, right? You get a Malik Neighbors and a Mikey Sanders still, who's actually had more of an effect on the team. Exactly. My point exactly, because it's about who's showing up and what you see when you see on film and how versatile a certain player is, right? So what needs to happen, I was going to tell you guys now, what needs to happen is, as I've said on multiple occasions, is you got to, instead of, spending so much time and so much energy and giving so much thought and giving so much attention and giving Mel Kiper such a huge platform, whether it's him, Todd McShay, whoever it is you want to call in the mock draft, whatever their opinion is, you got to stop giving them so much airtime, because the way it's translating to the public is people who don't know how this thing works, don't know how the business of football works. They start, they start feeding into it too much and it affects their college decisions. Now, if you have a feeder team, if you have each NFL franchise that has a feeder team and you want to talk about potentially drafting guys to teams like that just to give it some press, just to give it some airtime, that needs to be the mentality. But when you're talking about NFL and you're talking about keeping the NFL product elite and amongst the best out there, you can't have so-called experts be wrong as many times as Mel Kiper has been wrong. Just think about this, and I'll close you out with this concept, all right? If you want to keep the NFL as an elite exclusive product, all right, you can't have guys like Mel Kiper being wrong for so many damn years and continuously keep the product where it needs to be. Think about how many times he's been wrong about draft picks, and they could, for some reason, they continuously give this guy a platform every single year to tell you who he projects and who he thinks is going first and second and all this nonsense. The effect of it is going to be that the NFL loses its value, because even your common fan, even the general public will realize, man, this dude is wrong all the time. Why do they keep going to him for his draft quote unquote expertise? Why do they keep going to him for his draft analysis and what he thinks? It makes no sense. And eventually the common fan loses interest in the overall product. That's all I'm gonna say for now. Like I said, I got a whole lot more on this. Just stay tuned. I'll be jumping on the live stream in about an hour or so from this recording. Main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work, it's makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one, Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker. Check it out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.